We've got the official MyBookie.ag win totals for all 16 Southeastern Conference teams.
Okay. So we'll be using 15 of these in this game.
We're eliminating Vanderbilt?
No,
I'm kidding. You can eliminate whoever doesn't get
you
picked.
choose Vandy if you think they're good.
I don't. The way we're going to do this is I'll use Vanderbilt as an example. If Lance drafts Vanderbilt, they're at 2.5. And Lance says, I think it's over 2.5. He gets a point for everyone they're over 2.5. Half a point if they get to 3, 3.5, you get it, right? So we'll see who ends up with the most points at the end of the year. I assume somebody is going to write down who everybody picks and do the math at the end of the year.
I'm going to do that. But
okay.
For instance, as I use the example, 9.5 is Alabama's win total. If you picked Alabama and they ended up 8 wins in the regular season, you would have negative 1.5 points. So that would hurt you.
That's going to hurt you.
Hurt you.
Unless you take the under.
I've got 9 overs, 7 unders.
Yeah, that's right. You could take the under, and then you got it correctly.
That's right. Okay, so how are we going to determine draft order?
I'll go last.
Okay.
And make 2 picks. Who wants to go first?
You can go first, Brown.
All right. I am going to go first, and I am going to take the Florida Gators over 4.5.
Oh, I like that pick.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I'm going to take Florida Gators over. I was watching the golf Saturday, and, Kevin Kisner's in the booth with NBC, Georgia grad, and they do the walk and talk with Billy Herschel when he's playing the hole, and they interview him while he's playing the hole.
Yep.
And you know what Kisner's question was? He goes, all right, Billy, Kevin Kisner's country is cornbread. He goes, official Vegas win total for Florida is 4.5. You taking the over or the under? That was his question while he's playing a golf hole. I love it.
I bet he took the over.
Horse was like, we're going over. I'll tell you who we're not losing to. And Kisner's like, you're going to get drilled by Georgia.
So Brown's got over
I got
Florida.
Over Florida.
Okay, can we just talk about that for a second? I think they make a bowl game. Do you think they make a bowl game?
I think it's going to be right around 6 wins. I think they do beat Miami week 1. At least that's where
huge,
I sit right now.
That's huge for me on this.
Yeah, I think they beat Miami, and I think that's going to be the difference there.
Yeah. LT, your second pick.
I am going to take over 8.5 for Texas A&M.
I thought that's where
you were
going
there. Yeah.
I thought that's where.
I just think the schedule. Again, they need to beat Notre Dame week 1, but if they beat Notre Dame week 1, they should be able to. 9-3 should be kind of the floor there.
So Florida is off the board, and Texas A&M. What do you think about Texas A&M?
I don't know if I'm being influenced by Lance because I sit next to him every day, or if I just happen to agree with him, but I am starting to come around. I do think they're going to beat Notre Dame week 1.
I think Walter Nolan is a big loss. Yep. I think Evan Stewart's a big loss, but I think Wegman being healthy, and again, knock on wood, this, I guess, is in relation to any team out there, but if Wegman can stay healthy, and he couldn't do it last year, played in 4 games, I think with Mike Elko, they're going to be really good.
I'm going to take Kentucky over the 6.5.
I liked that under.
Oh, you like under that?
I did.
That was a bad mistake on my part.
Not necessarily.
Dunaway got baited in by Matt Jones. We don't even have to be very good to win those games.
We don't even have to be very good.
I mean, we've got 6 wins.
The way I like to look at it initially is just you find me what the 7 that are going to put it over that you feel great about.
Right.
Southern Miss, Ohio, what do they call them? Stinky teams.
Stinky team. We got 4
Murray
stinky
State.
teams.
There are 3 wins. I'll give you Vanderbilt at home. There are 4. Now, you find me 3 other in-stone wins. I would say South Carolina. We could do that at 5. And then I have no idea.
You got them at 9-3 in the playoffs, Lance.
Yeah. I'll take Auburn over the 7.5.
You do this.
What do you mean? I'm trying to win the game.
You picking Auburn is undefeated. Wait till little T hears this.
I'm trying to win the game.
So I don't know if she's listening to the show live, but she's listening to the show live.
Did you get middle finger?
she picked Auburn number 1 apparently. So you've got Auburn
over 7.5. We've said all summer long they're going to win 8 or 9. I need positive points.
Okay, so all I've got to do on my under with Oklahoma, under 7.5, and I think Oklahoma's going to be good. But all I got to do is find 5 losses, and I can do it right now. And it's not really going to be in September, but I am going to say there's going to be so much. They're going to exert so much energy on Tennessee that they turn around the next week and they lose their first road opener in conference to Auburn, and that starts. I think they beat Texas. I'll say they lose to Ole Miss. That would be loss 2, at Missouri 3, Alabama 4, and LSU 5. I think they completely come apart at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's a tough finish.
Yeah. Funny, I had them over.
It's not funny at all. It's completely believable. I am going to take Texas under. We're playing at 10.5.
From mybookie.ag.
From mybookie.ag, code next round when you sign on to
under
mybookie.ag.
10.5.
Under 10.5 for Texas.
I mean, do you just let LT do the research for you and you
I was
just
copying off
steal his information?
If I let LT, and I almost did this. If I let LT do the research, I would have gone A&M right out of the chute, and I went Florida. But I almost went A&M.
Yep. You have another pick too, but Texas under 10.5.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot we're sneaking it.
I would tell you that. I mean, you get a half point if they go 10, which I feel like is a number of people would settle at. And
let me take Tennessee over the 8.5.
Tennessee
Another
over
team,
8.5.
LT
Real
likes.
quick though on Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is going to have to find a loss. Like at Michigan, if they lose there, I think it is a safe bet to say Texas goes under. Let's just say they win that Michigan game. I think Oklahoma's going to get them again. I think Georgia's going to get them, and then it comes down. You've got a month and a half of football where you got to dodge bullets, and that A&M game at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I am now going to go.
it's really hard now.
It's gotten more difficult for sure. But I am going to go under Ole Miss.
Ooh, interesting. Because we're playing that at 9.5. Mm-hmm. And I think most people think there is a not easy, but very manageable path to 10 wins for Ole Miss, and you're taking the under 9.5.
Yeah, I'm just, now that Lane Kiffin says he's got what he needs to win a championship, I'll believe it when I see it. Now, I said this with Mike Norvell last year. He backed up 10 wins with 13 wins, if you count the championship game. I need to see Ole Miss coming off 11 wins, what they're going to be able to do. The only times they're going to be underdogs at LSU, against Georgia, and that's it. So if they win the games they're supposed to, they're going to be 10-2. I just think they find a loss, whether it's at Florida, against Oklahoma. Boy, that schedule.
I know.
I'm going to take LSU under 9.5.
And Jim, your final pick. Jim's got Kentucky over, Auburn over, LSU under.
Can I get a reaction to LSU under 9.5?
Tough schedule.
Yeah. I thought, so when I did this morning, when we were handed our sheet and I went ahead and scribbled some notes, I put X's next to the ones I thought were perfect. And I've got an X next to LSU. I think 9.5 is just the perfect number. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I'll go on and give them 5 wins to open the season. I think they pay back Ole Miss. I think that's 6. Then it gets really difficult. I think Vanderbilt is a 7th win. I had LSU going over 9.5. I don't love it. I agree with you. I think 9.5 is perfect. I think the number is going to be 9 or 10. I would not feel good about this one at all.
Can I just say, of all, well, no, you go ahead and make your last pick.
And my last pick, I'm going to take under 5.5 on South Carolina. Under 5.5 on South Carolina.
What I was going to tell you is, other than Auburn, I put the X by everyone I thought was perfect. I had an X next to every one of yours. Like, I thought every one of yours, they've set the perfect total.
I'm going to take Vanderbilt's over 2.5. And look, I don't feel great about it, but Clark Lee did in 2021 win 5 games. He's coaching for his life. You've got Alcorn State. At Georgia State is going to be tricky. If they get that, they're going to get Ball State at home. I've got 2 guaranteed wins in Alcorn State and Ball State. And then it comes down, can I get a win either at Georgia State or with South Carolina at home?
Okay.
It is remarkable.
2 picks for you, Brownie.
No, 1 pick. I've already got 3.
Oh, we're going 5, though.
Oh, we're going 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I was only prepared for 4, Jim.
Well, surely all yours have gone anyway.
I'll take Missouri over the 9.5, and I'll take Alabama over the 9.5. I was about to say it's amazing we've gone this deep without Alabama getting picked at 9.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia at 10.5.
And that was going to be another one that shocked me, that Georgia went that deep.
I mean, Georgia's won
39.
39 consecutive regular season games, and now all I've got to do is get them to win 11 or 12.
All I got to do is go 11-1.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule, really difficult, but I'll take Georgia there.
So, Jim, all you got left is Mississippi State or Arkansas. Mississippi State's at 4.5, mybookie.ag. So is Arkansas.
Yep. The big questions here are overs or unders, and which one could get the most out of that.
The way you've talked about Arkansas, Lance, I'm a little surprised you left them on the board.
It is a tough schedule.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule, but
what was your last pick, Dunaway? You had under 9.5 LSU, and then
South Carolina under 5.5.
Yeah,
and I'm going to take. I just don't know about Mississippi State. I'm going to take Arkansas over the 4.5.
All right, so I've got Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, and Alabama over, and Texas under. Jim's got Kentucky, Auburn, South Carolina, and Arkansas over, LSU under.
South Carolina have under.
Excuse me.
I got LSU and South Carolina under.
I've got it written down that way. I said it the wrong way. Jim's got Kentucky, Auburn, Arkansas over, LSU and South Carolina under. Lance has Texas A&M, Vandy, and Georgia over, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss under.
Yep, that's the way I have it.
All right.
And nobody played Mississippi State.
Yeah, we left State at 4.5. It's another one I put an X by. I thought that was a pretty good number by Vegas on that.
I really think they're all really good at mybookie.ag. Promo code next round. I mean, they all look like the perfect number to me.
Well,
I think they did a good job. Which one's the biggest? You think it's Texas A&M, obviously. You picked them. If you had the first pick, would you pick Texas A&M?
I mean, it's one of those things like back on your life, gun to head. I wouldn't feel great about it because if A&M loses out the gate to Notre Dame, a really good Notre Dame team, then you don't have any margin of error. You get one more loss the entire way.
It's a big scramble then.
So, week one for these win totals, and look, it's a lot of fun if you can get week one in your pocket because you get to pull for a team the entire season when you have one of these win totals, whether it's under or over. But if you don't get week one, like if you've got Miami over and they lose to Florida, or if you've got Notre Dame or A&M over and they lose to the other, you're already behind the 8-ball.
Tear up the ticket at that point, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
And again, you can get negative points if you just picked it wrong. If you, for instance, have Alabama over and they go under, you're getting negative points.
If Alabama's 7-5, I am in trouble.
Yep.
So
is Kalen DeBoer. And I'll never hear the end of the shit either.
So is Lance.